Now the pattern is worked in, excuse me, in rounds. But just so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better, I'm going to be working it in back and forth rows. But even in the pattern, when you work it in rounds, at the end of each round you do turn. So it's going to be the exact same method as if you weren't. So again, I have multiple rows of single crochets, which is the base. So when you work from here and you work all your way down, so like this way. So I've got my single crochet rows and then my half double crochet rows, and that's where we're going to pick up on here. So if you're following along in the pattern, it is actually going to be on row 6. So this is like row 5, my half double crochet row. I've already chained 1 and my turn. So again, I'm working in rows, and so mine's going to be just slightly different. So I'm going to work 2 half double crochets just to begin. I believe in the pattern you just begin with the post stitch. So the first row, for row 6, you're going to work a front post double crochet. Now when you work in the post stitches, we've worked, so in my sample I've worked 2 half double crochets. Here's your 2 half double crochets, which means you're going to go around the post of this next stitch. So yarn over, go around that post. We're working front post, so you're pulling that post to the front. So you're going to insert your stick or your hook in and then out. So you're grabbing that whole post, yarn up, and complete that double crochet. Now again, when you're working cables, an important part to just general knowledge that'll help it make it easier is you work a post stitch. That counts as 1 stitch, which means you're going to skip 1 stitch in the back. So you're going to go into the next stitch, which is right here. So a half double crochet in there. Oh my goodness. And then a post stitch around the next stitch. So here's your half double crochet that you worked into. So you're going to go around the post of the next stitch. The first row of your cables, which is what we're working right now, is always going to be the more difficult row. So you're going to skip that first stitch, work into that next stitch for your half double crochet. And then a cable around the neck, so front post double crochet. Okay, we're going to do this until we have 6 post stitches, which is the 6 starts of our cable. So I've got 4 right now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm hoping this color of yarn will show up a little bit better than that blue I had yesterday. And the first row is always a little bit more difficult to see those post stitches and how they stand up. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm sorry. I've got my phone too close to my crochet piece here because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. I'll step back just a little bit here. Okay, and then I'm going to end with 2 half double crochets. Again, this is just kind of a sample of how we're going to work the pattern. So you can kind of see I've got the post stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 post stitches. So now for row 7, you're just going to go all the way across working half double crochets. This is going to kind of be repeating what I went over yesterday. This is the technique I prefer when working cables. Every pattern you buy is going to be a little bit different. Sometimes people will have you work a return row and work back post stitches, but I prefer to do the half double crochet around or on that return row and then work your next row doing treble crochets so it drops down so you can get the height of it. The main reason I prefer doing this is to keep the back side of your cables cleaner and less holes in it. So, and you'll be able to see that when I get a few more rows into this. Okay, so we just completed row 7. Now row 8, so on my sample I'm going to always begin with the 2 half double crochets and then I'll jump into the pattern. Okay, there's my 2 half double crochets. So for row 8 we're going to do a front post treble crochet around the post stitch from 2 rows below. So here's that post stitch, treble crochet, so yarn over twice, go around that post. It's easy to grab because it's already standing up off the fabric from row 6 that we did. Okay, and then again you're going to skip that 1 stitch and go into the next stitch right there for your half double crochet. we're going to repeat this around to the end of the row. So it's basically like that first row, except for you're working front post treble crochets instead of the double crochets, and you're going to be working treble crochets for the rest of the pattern. This just gives it a little extra height on there. Oh my goodness, guys, I am so sorry. Whoop. Okay, stable the phone there. Okay. I think the reason I do that is because I actually watch my hands through the phone, which is not normal. Usually you watch your hands. And since I'm watching through the phone, I bring my work up closer to me, and then I hit the phone like I just did. I just need to keep them down a little bit further. Okay, so I'm finishing up that last post stitch of that row. So you'll be able to see that they are standing up a little bit more. Okay, can you see that little texture in there? The post stitches are starting to pop a little bit better. The more rows you work, the more you're going to see it. So row 9, again, you're going to do a return row of a half double crochet all the way across. I want to make sure and work these rows so that you guys can see when you start moving the cables. So the straight rows, like these, are pretty easy to work. It's when you start turning and working underneath and above the cables that I think people get confused on, and that's what I want to help you guys work through, because cables really are just super fun stitches to work. All right, so we're finishing up row 9. We're going to jump onto row 10 here in just a second. Okay. I'm going to refresh my screen here. All right, so we're on row 10. So again, in my sample, I'm going to begin with 2 half double crochets. In the pattern, you do not begin. You just begin with your chain 1, pulling your chain 1 up to the height of your next stitch. Okay, so there's my 2 half double crochets. So now we're going to front post treble crochet around the post stitch. Same as last time, you're going to drop down below, grab that post stitch, and complete your treble crochet around it, and half double crochet in the next stitch. Oh my goodness, okay, this is the same. I forgot about this. Okay, we're going to pretend like we are on row 12. Okay, so row 10 is basically the same as row 8. So we're going to jump down to row 13, guys. Sorry about that. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to start with a front post treble crochet around this stitch, half double crochet, that's where we're at, and then we're going to front post treble crochet around the next stitch, half double crochet in the next one, again skip that one stitch, half double crochet. So now this is where we're going to start twisting our cables. You're going to skip the next post stitch, which is this one right here, and you're going to work into this next one, and that's basically going to create that post stitch to come up and then turn over here. So yarn over twice for your treble crochet, skip this post stitch and go into the next one. Okay, and that's going to count as one stitch. Whoops. Since that counts as one stitch, oh my goodness, you're going to skip one stitch. So you're still going to continue skipping the one stitch, work your half double crochet into this stitch right here. Okay, half double crochet. And then in the pattern it says to work in front of the last post stitch. So now you're going to do 2 yarn overs for your treble crochet. You're going to cross over and grab that post, the skipped post, whoops, and then complete your half double crochet. Okay, that counts as one stitch, so you skip your one stitch and now work your half double crochet here. And then you're going to work the traditional post stitches over in the last 2 post stitches. So there's your post stitch, skip the one, half double crochet, another post stitch, and half double crochet in those last 2. All right, hang tight. My low battery light came on, but I've got my cable right here, so I'm going to go hurry and plug this in Okay, hopefully that'll work. Okay, so now row 13, we're going to work a row. This is our return row of half double crochets again. So there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you really want to make sure when you're working cables that you read the pattern closely. Once you usually work one section of the pattern and then do repeats, it gets a little bit easier. But as you'll notice in row 12, I have it bold and italicized. It says front. You're going to work in front of that cable. And the reason is because sometimes, you will work behind that cable. And it will give you two different looks. Okay, so as you can see in this pattern, when you work in front of, the cable comes up and it's on top of. If you work behind, like right here, it's behind, and then this cable goes on top of, but this one's behind. So by working in front of and behind, you're creating this interweaving look to your pattern. All right, guys, we are on to row 14. And we'll see how far we can get. Okay, so again, in my sample, I'm just going to half double crochet 2. If you're working the mitts, you're just going to join, turn, and then you're going to start with the post stitches. So in row 14, you're going to front post treble crochet around that first post stitch, just like we've been doing. Half double crochet in the next stitch, so skip the 1, half double crochet into the next stitch. Now we're going to skip the next post stitch, which is this one. You're going to go into the next one. Now this one is the one that is underneath, so you're going to need to kind of grab that, go around that post, and then complete your treble crochet. Half double crochet in the next one. Whoops, so skip 1, half double crochet into that next one. And now we're going to working behind the post just made, so behind this one, you're going to work a front post treble crochet. So you're going to go behind this post, and then you're going to grab the post of that skipped one. Okay, we're going to do it again, so you'll see it again in just a second. Okay, and then you're going to work your half double crochet into the next stitch. Okay, now you're going to repeat that again. So you're going to treble crochet, you're going to skip, this is your next post stitch, so you're going to work into the next one, which is right here. Grab that. Okay, half double crochet in the next stitch, so skip the 1 and then go into the next one with your half double crochet. Front post treble crochet working behind, so go behind that post stitch, grab this post that you skipped. See, I'm around that post. Pull your yarn up and complete your treble crochet. And half double crochet into the next stitch. Front post treble crochet in the last one. And then work your half double crochets. Okay, now if you were working the mitt pattern, you would join once you've completed the whole round, and then you're going to turn and work your return row of half double crochets, which is row 15. Okay, I'll do one more row for you guys, and then you should be able to follow the rest of the pattern. Whoops. Oh my goodness, I need like a short crochet hook when I do my videos for you guys. All right, so we are wrapping up row 15. Couple more half double crochets here. Okay, so as you can see, we've already done a couple of crosses. So right in here, we've got this first cross, and then we've got another row of crosses, and we're going to complete one more row, as we go into row 16 of the pattern. Okay, so you're going to chain 1, pull it up to the height of your stitches, work 2 half double crochets. We're in the pattern, like I said, you'll just chain 1 and begin right here with this post stitch. So now for this one, we're going to skip this post stitch, and we're going to, let's see here, skip the post stitch, front post treble crochet around the next post stitch. So you're going to grab this one right here. So yarn over twice for your treble, grab that post stitch, and finish your treble crochet. Now you're going to work your half double crochet. So skip your 1 stitch and go into your next. So skip 1, go into the next one, half double crochet, and then you're going to working in front of the post stitch just made. You're going to front post treble crochet around the post of the skipped post. So there's your skipped post. Grab that, complete that treble crochet, and then work a half double crochet. So skip your 1 stitch, half double crochet. All right, I'm going to make sure I'm reading this right. Just made half double crochet, next skip the next post stitch. So you're going to skip, here's your next post stitch, front post treble crochet around your next post stitch, half double crochet in the next one right here. Whoops. And then working in front of the post just made, front post treble crochet around the skipped stitch, front post treble crochet, okay, and then half double crochet in the next stitch. So there's the one you worked, the next stitch, there we go. Okay, and then we're going to do a repeat. We're going to skip the next post stitch, front post treble crochet, front post treble, sorry, in the next one. Work your half double crochet, whoops, and then front post treble crochet in that skipped one, working in front of. It's easier when you work in front of because you don't really have to do anything. When you work behind, you got to make sure that you insert your hook behind that post stitch. All right, I am going to go ahead and work row 17 really quickly to show you guys. Oh my goodness. Okay, one more really quick row here to show you how it's looking. It's just easier to see when you have that row of half double crochets on top of it. So if you guys have any questions on this cable, please tag me in the comment and let me know. I want to help you guys so that you guys can fall in love with working these. If any of my verbiage is a little off or you guys don't quite understand what I'm trying to say in the written pattern, again, tag me so that I can see what you're reading and how I can better help you guys. So that is why I'm here. All right, almost done here, guys. So I've done the first half of the cable. Oh my goodness. So you should be able to see here, we've got the cables coming up and then they twist here. Then the next row comes up and twist, and then this last row comes up and twist. So if you look at these side by side, we have just completed up through this row right here. Then the next row, you're going to have 2 more twists, and then the next row, 1 more twist, and then a couple more. Oops, actually we're working this way. Sorry, guys. So you completed all 3 of these twists right here. Next row, you're going to have 2, and then the next one, you're going to have 1, and then a couple of rows of straight before you begin the wrist ribbing for, or not the wrist ribbing, sorry, the club ribbing for the shaft of the golf club.